This video will cover the NVMe Statistics widget. To open the NVMe Statistics widget, press the plus button on any of the widget docking areas. Once you click the plus button, you'll be presented with a list of widgets that you can add to that docking station, or you can click and drag them to any of the docking stations or make a new one. So the NVMe Statistics is the one we're looking for. I want to drag it in here. And then as I was saying, you can make new docking stations by dragging it over pretty much anywhere in the window, or you can just add it to the dock down here. Or you can double click. So either way works in order to add a new widget to a docking station. In the NVMe Statistics widget, we give you information similar to our normal statistics widget, but more specific to the NVMe device. So we show you which devices we detected and what bus it was on, the admin commands, IO commands, the total number of commands that we saw out of those, and then the registers, read writes, and the total read writes that we saw. Control registers, we give you a table showing you all the different commands that we saw or queues go across during the trace. Any of these that have an arrow on them, you can use to navigate in the trace. So for instance, there were 795 controller statuses, but there was only one CMB size. So if I wanted to go to that, click here and it'll navigate me there. But if I want to see a controller configuration, just start at the top, hide the PCIe transactions, and we can jump to the different controller statuses, controller capabilities, etc. For the admin commands, you have a similar table. However, you are presented with a graph here. You can change this from a box and whisker to a distribution bar graph, depending on how you would like to see the data. IO commands also show a similar box and whisker plot. With the box and whisker plots, you can change what data you're wanting to see. And it also gives you a timeline or a timestamp of what is visible. You can zoom in and out on these with your mouse wheel. Any of the transactions that you see that are red or green, you can click on those and it will jump to them in the transaction. Using your middle mouse wheel, press and hold it down and you can pan back and forth on the timeline. Any of the transactions that are red took longer than the average time to complete. Any that are green took less, or it took less time than the average time to complete. As I was saying, you can zoom in and out. So any of these commands, similar to the control registers, if they have an arrow on them, you can use those to navigate those in the trace. Similar with IO commands, you can show different IO sizes, which stats you want to look at, and change it from box and whisker plot to distribution. Using your middle mouse wheel, you can zoom in and zoom out, or click on the little quadrant button here to show the full timeline. Q statistics gives you a table and shows you the max depth, the bytes read, bytes written. And similar to the other tables, if they have any arrows next to them, they allow you to click through that and jump to those commands. Completion status for any admin or IO queues. There's successful and invalid fields, and you're able to, similar with any other table that we have, you're able to jump to those using these arrows. And if there was any NVMe MI, similar to the admin and IO, there'd be a box and whisker plot that you could use to show the different commands, and then a table that you could also use to jump through them. If you have any questions over the NVMe statistics or any of the widgets that we have available, you can email us at support@serialtech.com. Thank you.